Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I didn't think about this, but there was a patch that came out today, and because the patch came out today, I'm not going to be able to access the replays without going back to the previous version, and I think that actually means I can't use the updated overlay. So, whoops, didn't really think that. Do not need to see you. But
Prepare
you
yourself
off.
for battle, heroes.
Get out of here. I don't want to see you. Actually, this doesn't. Is this the bad one? Yeah. Oh, yuck. Looks like I'm not gonna be able to do anything about that. That is unfortunate for sure. But you know what? We will get through it. We will survive. We will survive. So we do go in now. We're into the game. Streaming Nachos is, I
The
believe,
battle
the team in
begins
blue. I
in
don't
10
actually know
seconds.
if they switch back and forth, but we're gonna go ahead and act as if they're this is the team we've got. We've got Arctic
5,
Fox up here on the
4,
Zul Jin.
3,
We have
2,
Melkor playing.
1.
What the
Let the battle
I don't have my
begin.
little thing in the corner. This is awful. Fine, I'll cheat. We have Melkor playing the Muradin, Atomic Alien playing that Cassia, other way around. We do have Trench on the Tassadar and Luigi on Shadow Luigi. Lucio, not Luigi. Wow, look at me being amazing. Stop being attached to people. On the other side, we have Dr. Huxtable on the Orphea. We do have Artful Dodger on the Junkrat, a very dodgy character, if you ask me. Varun is playing the Stukov, and Nice Biba is on the Varian. Up top, we do have Dr. Swole playing the Swollest character in Here's the Storm. Surprisingly, Sonya being a little bit defensive around the Zul. Not something I would have expected, if you ask me. Which honestly you should have. We're down here. We have the charge coming in. Varian, you're not a real boy yet. You want to be careful. You have Varun moving in. He's got blocked off by the wall trying to get back. He's not going to be able to. Just kidding. The wall totally went away. The wall got out of the way in favor of allowing Stukov to retreat. We do have the rotation happening faster on the side of Private Potato as they are back up the middle, catching that soak. Although actually maybe not faster as I look at the experience up top, and we definitely have an experience advantage. And crack a boom. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the tower on the side of Private Potato. Trish goes ahead and gets a big old tentacle to the head. Trying to move back. We have Orphea being stunned in the middle of an electric field. Dr. Huxtable not looking too healthy, but very, very quickly healed up by Stukov. Zoom out one more level. One more level. Go back in whenever we have a fight. Speaking of a fight, we do go and have the mercenary camp being picked up, but there is an invasion here. Melkor coming in says, this is my camp. No, I live here. This is for dwarf boots only. There's a silence puddle, but Melkor moves off it. Dr. Swole coming down. We do have the full 5-man engage coming on the side of Private Potato, but Melkor is down. It is a 5 versus 3, and Atomic Alien is falling back. They're trying to get away. Shadow Luigi takes a big ol' grenade to the butt. Lucio does not like that. No jams were made out of butt grenades. I missed this, you guys. I do not know how to tell you. They prolong our lives. Good to know. Good to see. Good to do. You go ahead and have Atomic Alien going back and forth. It does look like they're going through this out, but there's another engage happening up here. There is a root. Unfortunately, we're going to have a very... I didn't even tell you that that is Murdered. His name was Silence. I didn't know which character was Silence was, but regardless, we have the dwarf going down a second time of the game. Dr. Huxtable does go ahead and in the middle. There is a double pickup on the side of Private Potats. Meanwhile, we do have the first phase triple altar going through. Sonya already in the area. The altars will not be up just yet. Here is the Nice Beaver coming into the Arctic Fox. That's like the euphemism if I ever heard one, and I have definitely heard euphemisms. I have created many. Looks like no one is strongly going for that one. Varian not in the area. Slight advantage on the side of Screaming Nachoes for the time being, but we'll just have to see if that is retained. Dr. Huxtable takes a good bit of damage. There is silence under the Junkrat. That is actually Cassia, not Junkrat. Very, very close. Almost the same person. And we do have Cassia. We take it out. Cat, move. I have to be able to see the screen. Huxtable goes ahead and channels that, and it does look like Private Potato will get the double channel here in the first objective phase, knocking the core of Screaming Nachos down to 32 health. Here we have right in the middle. Oh, it looks like Arctic Fox may be in a bit of trouble. We do go ahead and Dr. Swole move in, quite a bit of damage. Arctic Fox is going to be flanked as Junkrat comes in from below, and there is a kill. First kill, or nope. Third kill, fourth kill. I can do math. Math is amazing. Fourth kill of the game. We do have Sonya moving back up, picking up all this lovely experience. Orb sitting on the ground, saying, to get off the ground, you're not supposed to be down there. Is this going to extend the advantage for Private Potato? They are up to about 7.5 experience thus far. Melkor goes ahead and goes back and forth and back and forth and back. Very, very nice movement to be here as soon as the camp spawns. But what's it? Is Melkor going to do this again? We do go and have the root coming down and get a big old boot back coming from the Junkrat. They have to walk through the silence puddle. I don't know if this is worth. But Melkor is in the area, goes in, and gets picked up right before Melkor gets there, but they may have gone too far. There's a taunt on top of alien. Big old Orphea tentacle goes right through the middle of a lot of them. Half health on a lot of members of the Screaming Nachos. They are falling back, screaming in pain in this case, not screaming in
The altars rise again.
battle lust? I don't know what the right term for that would be. Do a Junkrat in the middle, goes ahead, lays a massive amount of mines onto all of the minions that are here, doing a little giggle. I love the Junkrat giggle. It's like my favorite sound of the game. Nice Beaver does go in, gets onto the Melkor, but the rest of the team is not there and takes a good bit of damage for free. There is a nice, gets pooped back by the Lucio. Artful Dodger does come down, as well as Dr. Huxtable. This is going to trigger a retreat from Private Nachos. Private Nachos, is that what I said?
The altars have
Screaming Nachos?
activate them now.
And we do go ahead and have the full 5-man coming in. Zool a little bit zoned out. There is the Chattering Teeth looking to get a big old chomp chomp. Luigi is in the area. There is a nice stun, nice silence with a lot of them. You have once again the murder goes down, but a counter kill to both Orphea and Junkrat. Advantage at the moment for Screaming Nachos as Sugop goes down as well. Now they are screaming in battle lust. Now we have a lot of damage. Dr. Swole being the last survivor. Never mind. We do have a full 5-man team wipe, only trading out the murdered. We are up to 5 kills to 5. Dead even in terms of kills, almost even in terms of experience. We do have a slight edge as level 10 is picked up by the Screaming
Your
Nachos.
powers will be mine. Brave.
You have high 5 coming from the Lucio, the avatar on that murdered, indecisive on the other members. So Poison Nova on that there Zool. As always, let me know if the sound is okay, if the sound levels are good. Sounds a little bit loud to me. I'm going to turn it down just a bit. Because I can hear it very well, and I want you to be able to hear me because I'm important. With that said, we got Varun coming out. We are still dead even in terms of tower health, and both teams do have their level 10s. Looking, we do have Riptire coming out, as well as Eternal Feast, Massive Shove, Leap, and Warbringer. Burden coming in from above, looking for engage. Minus Beaver runs out, and there's a great. Oh, I like the use of the Feast in order to disengage that. And we have Cassia going down. There is a Melkor falling back. Nice Black Hole comes through, catches 3 people. Not going to let anything go through. Melkor looks not very long for this world and does get taken out. Low health on Varun and Dr. Huxtable. We do have a full retreat coming from Shadow Luigi and Trench at the moment. Sonya does peel off to go ahead and pick this up while the rest of the team is not currently available. Meanwhile, Zool just keeps doing the double soak thing. Here comes everyone else kind of moving along. A lot of damage coming through. Nice Beaver goes ahead and gets his back to an electric fence. Don't sit on the electric fence. The full 5-man on the side of Private this year. Arctic Fox slightly out of position. Melkor is coming in. The tank is the last one of the fight, but there's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Poison Nova. Varun is going to go down, is not able to heal themselves. Orphea and Zool also out of the fight. Nice Beaver right in the middle of a lot of damage. Is not able to retreat. There is an electric wall in the way. Artful Dodger almost explodes himself, but actually you can't do that, so not quite. The Shadow Luigi goes and gets the channel, and here's another 4 shots coming across the battlefield and into the Gravekeeper's core. Crack up, boom. Vegetable comes up here, goes ahead and heals off of Whirlwind. I want to know the actual physics of that. How does spinning in a circle make you better? And will that work if I have to go to the hospital? Oh no, I broke my leg. We'll just spin in a circle. I caved, I broke my leg. Well, that's just the limitations of modern medicine. Alright, we do have Melkor going back and forth and back. I'm just going to move this down some so I don't have the correct... 1 second. Sorry about this. Dang it.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
There we go. Slightly not where I wanted it to be, but you know what? At the end of the day, that looks better. All right, now back to paying attention to the cast. Just looked over. I'm like, oh, with this overlay, you can't like some of the talent stuff is being covered up by the overlay. There's nice beaver caught in a lot of things. I was unable to retreat because battle was. Although actually the Eternal Feast was screening for them. There is Melkor looking for blood, looking for Varian. There are guys, you're supposed to be friends. What's going on? Oh, the Junkrat actually boops them into the Varian, ends up sealing Varian's fate. Melkor looking not very, very healthy at the moment, is silenced. There is the big old boop. Zul gets knocked back. Melkor not looking very healthy for this world. He's gonna have back. But Zul does get taken out by Sonya. Sonya coming from above. Sonya on a warpath right now. Death by Snoo indeed. However, a lot of damage coming in. It does look like there is the bounce of the orb, but the orb does expire just before Sonya goes down. A little bit of a trade-off as we do have the shots fired. Shots going into the Ravenlord core, knocking that down to 28. But an answering pair of shots goes into the Gravekeeper, knocking that down to 24.
My power.
That was really good with that Sonya. Those are the Sonya flanks you dream of. I used to main Sonya, and then my team was like, okay, play a hero that doesn't get picked by the other team literally every match. And I'm like, fine. I guess I can do that. We do go ahead and have, once again, the chaos being picked up on the side of Private Potato. Private Potats. Melkor goes in and turns right into Nice Beaver. Nice little double explosion. Obviously, they do not yet have level 20, so that is not the cooldown reduction the Junkrat will eventually have in his pocket. Looks like a bit of a engage over here. Artful Dodger comes in and says, hey, how about you stay away from our minions? We don't like you having experience. And Zul's like, but. Zul comes back, says, you can't deny me now. And Junk's like, okay, fine, I guess I can't. I love Orpheus so much.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The altars rise.
So we have another triple altar phase coming forward. Sonya moving down. Dr. Squall is really hoping Arctic Fox does not contest this, but Arctic Fox is thinking about it. Does end up rotating all the way to the bottom.
I know I should do that. I've opened my tunnel as well.
Somewhat surprising. Looks like they just want to get an experience advantage and are actually willing to allow the shot for free. Because that definitely could have been stopped by the Sonya, but opted not to. There is a nice 3-man Rip Tower coming out. Melkor in a lot of danger, moves it a little bit ahead and gets to absolutely pulverize. It's having to fall back, waiting for that second wind to come up. But the second wind is nowhere to be found. Actually, it looks like they took third wind at level 1, so they'll heal even better if they can ever stop taking damage. But Lucio is not in the area to help them. We do have Arctic Fox moving down, but we also have Sonya in the area. Professor is channeling right now. There's the taunt on Arctic Fox. Melkor takes a good bit of damage. Variant is being aggressed. We do go in at that being turned in. Nice Beaver goes down. It is a 1-for-1 at the moment, but will that remain? We have Sonya going in. Sonya once again. Snooze all over the enemy team. Triple kill for the Sonya. 1 second, because Orpheus being talked about in chat, I have to show off. In this channel, we stand for Orphea. We actually have a emote for her. Had to make sure I didn't have a delay on, because I was like, wait, did I set a delay? Because I don't need one for a replay cast, obviously. We do go in at that picked up. Immediately are going to move over and take this mercenary camp in order to try and get some pressure for extra shots coming to the bottom. actually, I guess I need to do both because this Sonya here actually has another of my channel emotes. I'm sorry, I've been drawing like a fiend these last couple of days.
There's a rising heroes. Do get ready.
Wait, what? I thought I got approved?
Destroyed a fort.
Now I'm confused? Well, there is one. Apparently, I don't have it available. That makes me very sad.
Be swift, heroes.
All right, would you go to have a hospital? It's kind of caught in the middle. A lot of things go through. Varun goes ahead and just a lot of people just pinned against that electric fence. Electric fence does a great job anti-zoning. I guess it is still a zone. I usually think of like displacing. And it doesn't displace you, it just cuts off your path of escape. But there is a nice turn in. Level 20 is coming in clutch on the side of Screaming Nachoes. They're going to move in, do a lot of damage. But meanwhile, up top, we do go ahead and have the Sapper Camp running in, doing a lot of free damage. Here is going to get almost all the way to level 20 on the side of Private Potato. Junkrat does get taken out right before 20 is picked up. 20 is up, and it does look like our level 20 talents are going to be Force Barrier, Titan's Revenge, Andarel's Visage, Unknown and Unknown.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
So we have Blue taking back the bottom camp. Already Cassier's up here going ahead and taking out this one, but they actually want to go for the pressure play. On the other side, it looks like we have extra Eldritch Conduit, Top Off, Ariak Crater, and Glory to the Alliance. There is a great crater, catches two people. Unfortunately, one of them is Murden. Murden does not have the every third strike stun, so cannot stop the whirlwind very easily. And we do have Murden taken out. On top of Alien looking very, like, shouldn't say weak, but looking very bruised as they go ahead and get out of here. Cassie is like, I am not a bruiser. What is this? I did not sign up for this. But meanwhile, we do have the sappers moving in through the bottom lane. It does look like Dr. Swole is going to be in the area. Says, no, I do not want you going through. I do not want you getting free damage. I do not want you passing go. I do not want you collecting $200. Varian left the game like a jerk.
A hero has left the battle. Red team has destroyed the fort.
So we do have the Dance of the Forts going. The bottom fort does get taken by the red team, but immediately we do have Screaming Nachoes up top, taking out the top one. They do have an advantage. Their opponent's score is down to 12 health, but both teams do have a level 20 at this point. I missed the fact that they took the middle, so this is a problem. They have 5 shots. If they get both of these, their opponent's score will be down to 2 health. And it does look like Great Wall does go ahead and secure that. But meanwhile, they will not get bottom. Sonya did go ahead and run down. However, nope, they do not get that stopped.
Show the Raven Lord the extent of my power.
There is Atomic Alien coming in and getting absolutely pulverized. Nice Beaver and Artful Dodger. Go ahead and move back and forth. Back and forth. It does look like we're going to go ahead and secure the top camp. However, up top, Varian and Orphea are actually taking boss. I don't think that Private Screaming Nachoes has actually realized this yet, or they would be going to contest that. Nope, they do go ahead and just get 4 shots straight into the enemy core, taking it down to 13. But now they realize it for sure, and oh, this is going to be a dead Stukov. There's a nice 4-man Riptire. That means Riptire's going to come off cooldown almost immediately, and here it goes. Only hits 2 people that time, does end up having about a 20-second cooldown after that. Almost at the exact same second, we have the forts being traded. Still only 3 forts up on the side of Private Potato.
Raven Lord. You had better hurry. The altars rise again.
Interesting. I'm not sure I agree with this play. We do have them deciding to get the top camp. Like, that will do some damage, but it's not going to help them, like, retake any forts. Meanwhile, it means they're very, very far out of position to try and pick this up. They do have about 10 seconds to the bottom of the camp, well, or the bottom of the map. We'll have to see if they're able to get to it.
The altars have risen. Activate them now.
Dr. Huxtable going ahead and getting caught. There is a nice, like, Melkor is just sitting in it, says, I don't care, you're going down. Bazul also goes down. Dr. Swole does go in and get caught. And the carry credit does not lower the crater. I'm not entirely sure why. There was no one in there with them.
Hero slain.
So that's probably potentially game. They don't have the ability to win right now. The boss is not up. None of the sapper camps are up, but they will be down for an extended period of time. And it does look like the camps are coming up at about. Okay, it's not actually game just yet, but they'll be able to run into a lot of damage. Melkor is just leading the way. Stukov is doing what he can. Like, no, I need to take this back. And I agree, you do, but you're just one, muscly boy. Well, here it goes. If they get 2 shots off of this before Stukov can get this done, we do have Orphea coming back just about now. It's going to be close. They're going to have to really, really run in order to stop this from coming through. We'll have to see if they can.
Has destroyed a fort.
There's shot number 1. They have about 4 seconds. And there is shot number 2. That is going to be it. That is going to be game number 1, going in favor of Screaming Nachoes. Oh, I kept waiting for the stats to come up at the end, and I'm like, wait, I do this myself? So we will go ahead and have a looking at the stats. Obviously, we have a very, very even healing game coming through between Stukov and Lucio with 76,000, 71,000. I don't necessarily like directly comparing the stats, but at the end of the day, we do definitely have a very, very even game. Stukov and Lucio both kind of accessory healers. You take Stukov for the silence, you take Lucio for the speed boost. In terms of damage, we do have Junkrat leading the way, probably leaning a little bit too heavily. Or not too heavily, but probably edging out Tassadar, mainly because of those riptires. They just kept being reset on top of each other over and over and over. But Tassadar doing a very super respectable 74,000. Orphea coming in third. And then in terms of that ever-important soak, we do have Zul kind of exploding the way. Does do 33,000 soak as opposed to Sonya's 24,000. That right there might be the experience advantage that actually gave the win to Screaming Nachoes. But well played. Good set. We'll be back in just a second for game number 2. And we do have game number 2 away. Coming up on the side of Braxis Holdout. Once again, we do go and have Screaming Nachoes, winners of game number 1, coming in on the blue side of the map. Trench is going to be going ahead and playing the... I keep clicking them as if I can tell who they are. I don't know the skins well enough, so I just have to kind of cheat and say Trench is on the Junkrat. Lucio is being played by Shadow Luigi. Atomic Alien once again on Sylvanas. Arctic Fox on the Artanis. And Stitches is being played by Melkor. On the other side of the battlefield, we do go and have Jaina being played by Artful Dodger. Nice Beaver is on that Diablo. Varun is once again on the Stukov. Dr. Oxbow coming in on Chromie on the little time skin. I love it. And then up in the top, we do have Dr. Swole one more time. Is coming in on the Sonya. Interesting Sonya into Artanis. Artanis has not yet picked their level 1. I actually think this might be a case where you do indeed want Protector of Ire. Normally that's not a talent you take, but... And indeed we do go and have him going in for Protector of Ire. I love it. I love it. So there's a Melkor looking for the hook. Looking at the comps of this real quick, we do have Stitches trying to go for a pseudo pick comp, picking people off. Artanis also able to pull people out of position. Then they will have the mind control coming from the Sylvanas. Death coming out of the Lucio. Hello. First blood happening for Private Potar.
The beacons are energizing. You have to control them.
Then we have like Junkrat for the burst follow-up. Is Lucio able to like help them chase down? Lucio is the one that feels a little bit out of place in this comp to me. Looking at the other side, we do go ahead and have the Diablo able to rush in, knock people and flip them. Then, of course, the full combo comes out of the Jaina and the Crumpy. Actually, interesting. Double Mage. I hadn't noticed that yet. The Stukov does silence them in order so they kind of get stuck in it. There is no antidote to pull them out. I like the blow-up comp coming out of the side of Private Potato.
Let this work.
Dr. Swole trying to stay away from Artanis, not give him too many stacks. Already have 226 or 2.6% extra damage. This is why Sonya into Artanis is a rough matchup, because especially starting at level 4, it becomes very, very, very difficult for Sonya to win. So Artanis just stacks so well with that quest. Granted, it means Artanis has to take the quest, and most people will say that the quest, that the amateur opponent is better because of just the raw push ability it gives you. Alright, do we have everything kind of going in? We do have a nice pickup on the mercenary camp coming in and just kind of helping push back Private Potato. The military is coming back to help push back the privates. Makes sense, makes sense. Everyone else kind of moving on through, doing on do. Shadow Luigi is going ahead and going to be getting this back. If this finishes, we will have some more beacon progress in favor of Screaming Nachoes. Sonya is just having a very, very hard time moving that Artanis off the point. Interesting, they actually sent Jaina up in order to help deal with the Artanis. And apparently it is successful because Arctic Fox had to go back and Sippy Cup. Dr. Swole is out in the lanes. It looks like they're trying to get this back. Up to 42%, the magical number 42, in favor of getting Nachoes just yet. Nice Beaver is having to fall back. Nice. Ah! That is not what I want to do at all! What did I do? I'm sorry? I don't know what has happened. It's gotten confused. I don't have signal either of the game or on my actual monitor. One second, guys. I expect it to flip over and correct itself, but it hasn't yet. Interesting and strange. Don't look at my email. Apparently, I must have I pressed control something, and whatever it was like was a escape command for Windows. Windows like, I'm gonna go back to the desktop, but then it got confused. So regardless, we get a 60% on Screaming Nachos. I apologize about that. I'm super experienced caster. I'm gonna go back here and continue to help Dr. Swole out. But this is having to put 2 people against Sonya just means that slowly the 4-man at the bottom is just gonna be able to push in. Junkrat definitely able to just siege down from out of range over time. So this is not a tenable position. They actually are rotating even more people up top. They have Artful Dodger and Dr. Swole coming up here.
Hero slain.
So that was a get F to Artanis if I ever saw one. 3v1. You lack honor. That is not how Artanis sounds, but that's how Artanis sounds when I voice act him. Oh, the win for Varun actually got the Chromie. There is a silence and a stop. Dr. Huffle very low, but is going to manage to survive for the time being. Varun is also in the bad side of Pain Town. And it does look like they're going to go in and get pushed back. We do go and have Sonya once again having to deal with Artanis up top. 4 versus 4 here in the bottom. This looks like we have a ongoing engagement. Sonya has the momentary advantage. We'll have to see if that lasts. But meanwhile, there is the big 4v4. Slight miss on the hook coming out of the Melkor. Thank you, Shinpoku. I appreciate it. It sounded more like Hanzo to me than, Artful Dodger a little bit too far forward. There is the boop onto Diablo. Diablo goes ahead. A nice Beaver getting nice basted at the moment, I guess is what we want to say. A little bit of anti-synergy. We actually have the charge that does not hit the wall. Varun does get hooked in by Melkor, but no follow-up in position. Melkor falls back. We do actually have Atomic Alien up here picking up a camp. Meanwhile, the battle continues up top. Arctic Fox is taking this back. Dr. Swole is running in, but not going to be able to do anything. Artanis is current. God dang it!
Hero slain.
Okay, game. This is the problem when you cast off a patch, it resets all your stuff. Oh, Shinboku, that's so inappropriate. You live in my inbox? That sounds like a euphemism. Like I said, the only heroes impersonation I claim to be able to do is Illidan. And I can also do a bit of a Eastern European accent. It's really nice people will come up here and take this. It does look like we will get some progress going on the side of Private Potato, just for a little bit, because there is a big... Dr. Swole's not going to be able to defend this. Dr. Swole really wants to defend this, but it's not going to be... We do have Dr. Huxtable. This is the Battle of the Doctors. There is a nice stun onto the Muradin. Muradin stays in place for just a second. That means a lot of damage comes in, down to about 30% health. Melkor is falling back. There's a lot of damage coming in. Tries to get back, but actually does not. I don't think they tried to get back at all. I think they're like, I'm going to stand here. The wolves do not know how to retreat. There's a rotation coming up here to deal with Artanis. Artful Dodger is there first. Dr. Swole is nearby. Nice silence on Shadow Luigi. There is the interesting... I guess actually if your opponent goes double mage, you don't need the blind ult. So that would make sense, although even that's just going to be a bit of an inconvenience. Atomic Alien comes through. Atomic Alien is walking through the sludge because Stitches is on Atomic Alien's team. However, there is a nice Riptide going through. Nice Beaver takes a lot of damage. Atomic Alien takes even more. Dr. Hospital is about to have to revoke his PhD. Goes back to the medical ward. I can Shin, however, they're up at the top of the screen because since there was a patch that came out today, this is the talent pane I have. You cannot change it. The system does not allow you to use a custom overlay if you're going off of an old patch. So that's kind of why I don't show them as a general rule. Really blame Blizzard for having a patch come out today on a Monday? All kind. We have Private Potato getting wiped out? Well, like Private Pulverized, am I right? I am right. Yeah, every once in a while I will pull it up just because I want to be like, okay, no? That's what I pull up. I pull up because I want to be like, Artanis has 114 stats. And even that's somehow less invasive than the other one. So we do have poor Arctic Fox trying to clear this. Now here's the problem. Arctic Fox does not have the extra damage to monsters and minions quest. So is going to have a much, much harder time actually clearing out this third wave. Actually uses the Riptire to help try and get this down. But meanwhile, the bottom four is down. Stukov is down. Nice Beaver looking not very nice at the moment. I almost said looks like Bloody Beaver, but that sounds like super sus. Don't want to say that. I refuse. So we do actually have a fort taken down on each side. There was enough of the Zerg wave that neither side could fully defend it. However, Arctic Fox and Trench are going to get a little bit of damage up here before their opponents really rotate up to deal with them.
Let's set some on fire.
I also just thought about how glad I am I said private pulverized, not pulverized privates, because that again just sounds awful. Basically, my entire casting strategy is saying things that are sussy, but then in the context of saying I'm not saying this because it's sussy. And meanwhile, Artanis is in a bit of trouble down here. Does have to do a full retreat. There is the Diablo actually tries to flip into, but Artanis is not going to let that happen. 4-man is going up top. They realize that's where the 4-man is pressing, and they can't get as... Actually, they could have done a keep down there as well, so they choose to defend. Make an educated decision. With that being said, we do go ahead and have everyone kind of moving in towards the middle of the map. Are going to pick up these mercenary camps. No one currently dealing with boss. Artifox comes over here and scouts, sees a lot of the enemy and says, I can't really do anything about that. That's all 5 of them.
Here we go again. The beacons are powering up.
Arctic Fox does not have any chill, I've got to say. You were just absolutely just like, I just saw 5 of them. Let me walk halfway across away from my safe zone just to see if they're still there. It's not like they have a flip stun hero in their comp, do they? We do have both teams just going and deciding to do a lot of damage. Chromie does get taken out. Red team hero is killed indeed. And so that means as the beacons come up, they do not have Chromie on the side of Private Potats. Here comes Melkor looking in. Varun gets going, but nice Beaver comes in and knocks him out. Says, that is my healer. Get away. Speaking of that is my healer, we do have Unstoppable coming down with Shallow Luigi. There is a big ol' hit, but no one gets stunned by the Hellfire. Both tanks just like smooshing into each other. Nice Beaver may have beeped his last nice. There's a nice pull though. Melkor goes ahead and it's going to be a 3rd kill. It's Artful Dodging is focused on. And yes, Sylvanas puts another notch in her belt. They're making a beeline for boss. This is where the map swings just a little bit. running in, but are a second too late. A little bit of free damage coming down from the Chromie, but Bakun is getting a lot of damage. Is going to get knocked back. I think that was a swap from Artanis. No, Artanis was not there. It didn't look like a hook either, because they went into the enemy team. But at the end of the day, who really knows? Who knows? Not me. I never lost control. We have a big old Zerg wave and a boss coming down top lane. In just a second. No real attempt to try and take those Vegans back. They are down 2 people. Oh, it was Lucio Boop. That makes sense. Thank you very much, Besonist. I was like, something got them out of position. I'm not sure what it is. There are 2 position denying heroes, and it wasn't either of them. So all right, this may be the end of the game. A very, very strong wave coming in. Already, the Zerg wave is 0%. For the opposing Zerg wave, GG is called by Dr. Swole. I agree. You're down 3 people. There's no way you're going to hold on to this. So we do go ahead and have the game. The boss just going ahead. The Archangel goes ahead and lays Wrath into the red core. Down to 20%, down to 10%, and boom goes the Dynamite, and boom goes the core. GG called by the Dr. I forget the doctor's name. Dr. Cook, I think. Once again, I was waiting for the stats to come up because I forget that I'm in a replay. We do go ahead and have... I'm not on the stats screen. I'm trying to read the stats. They're not there. I'm like, why aren't they there? Because I'm super smart. Lucio healing out of his mind this game is 77,000 healing over the course of the game as opposed to 43,000. Just kind of 14 kills to 7. I won't say they ran over their opponents, but definitely it was very, very close until abruptly it wasn't. Looking at the damage, we do have Chromie leading the way, followed by Jaina. Double Mage paying off in dividends as they did at least 10,000 damage more than their closest opponent. The opponent would be Trench with the Junkrat with 39,000. And that soak, we do have Artanis and Junkrat both out soaking the Jaina and Sonya of the other team. So, very much what we're looking for, very much what we want to see. Congratulations to Screaming Nachoes for becoming our 2-0 winners. Next, I think we'll be staying in E Division because we did get a request. And we also have Shinboku in the chat. So we'll go ahead and probably cast Ice Crown Citadel Knights versus 30 Seconds to Mosh. I think I saw that one wasn't taken. So we'll go back to the in-between screen. The stream will go offline for just a second as I reset the VOD. I'll be right back for that. One second, guys.